I've been seeing a lot of covers lately. Sometimes when I'm bored, I just like to go through. Where's mine? I don't know if you're pronouncing your name correctly, but yes, I followed you. I love your artworks. I think they're really fun. I think if I recall correctly, you drew, was it Peregrine first, and then you drew Cooper, and then you drew me, and then I just really liked your art. I like your line work. Very good, very nice. Hello. Someone said they I remind them of Bin Pookie. Hello, John. John is here. Happy birthday again. Okay. Hi. Well, the ticket prices tomorrow, end of this week, you'll find out. We tried to make it as affordable as we could, depending on the venues, but it's not a crazy. The prices aren't crazy. We wanted it to be accessible for everybody, for most people. Thank you, Emilia. We hope to bring merch. Hope to get a clear answer on that, but I hope to. Hold on. What time are the shows happening exactly? Since the audience, since a lot of the Wonderfolk are all quite young, we hope to make it as early as we could. Ideally it would be around 7 p.m, but it'll depend. So everyone can go home early. At least earlier than the usual concert, from what I know. Keith, will we be allowed to get gifts to the tour? Yes. Similar to my past gigs, I will be accepting your gifts. I think it would be really fun, since everyone is so creative in the community. There will be a table for each show that you could just leave your gifts, and I get to look at it when I have the time. It would be nice. Thank you. Really sweet. If you are under 18, do you need to bring an adult? It'll depend on the venues, because it's different per area, but we hope and we try to make it as all ages as much as possible, but of course it would be better and it would be advised if you had a guardian with you, just to be safe if you're a minor, if you're under 18. It just out of safety, really. Oh, Valencia is here. Hello. we've talked about this a lot, even prior to the idea of me going to have a tour. Are we going to be able to dress up and wear masks at the concert? I really hope so, that everyone would get to have their fashion. That is really ideal. Imagine going into a room, a whole building, and then there's like a huge group of wonderfolk, and you immediately know that they're wonderfolk just from the way they present themselves. And I myself am really big with the way I present myself through clothing. It would be really sweet if you could dress up as, I don't know, your characters, just the theme of a colour, what you think would fit in Meadowlark. It would be really, really sweet as well if everyone's got a little blue pinky. I am a hypocrite. Is hypocrite is the right word? I don't know. I don't have them right now. They washed. I need to put them back. But everyone's just making pinky promises at the show. It would be really nice. It's to think about it. It's really sweet, and I'm saying sweet a lot. I'm so sorry. It just brings me back to when I was a kid and I didn't get to do a lot of pinky promises with anyone. It's not their thing. But now that a bundle of wonderfolk are going to be found in a singular place, more and more people are doing that. And it's very precious to me, because only I was the one who was doing it before, and now people are doing it too. Thank you. That was a long answer. I'm so sorry. I'm going through the questions. My English is very broken right now. Oh gosh. How do you feel about the thought of being able to go on tour? Is it scary? Yes, very much. It is very scary. Just going up on stage is very scary to me, despite having done so my whole life. A lot of people have always pushed me or encouraged me or told me that I was going to sing for a lot more people, and there was a part of me that would fully believe that that's just part of the dream. Yes, I want that to happen, but my English is really broken right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the emotions. Maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, I didn't think that it would happen so soon, and although I did not get to, I won't be able to go to all of it, like a lot more places other than the ones on the list. It's still such a huge thing to be able to just go out of my country and sing for people that I do not know personally, that I haven't met, that I didn't think I would reach. It's insane. It's bizarre. It's crazy. It's hard to fathom. I can't word it out. It doesn't feel real at all. Yesterday, when I posted the announcement for the very first time, just the pre-sales, a lot of my friends and my family came up to me or just messaged me, and when the poster was out, about like 2 hours after that was posted, I was just crying so much. because everyone was making me emotional, and they were like, "We're so proud of you. We're so happy. We knew you were going to get this far." And to me, it's still really, really hard to fathom, because this is such a surreal thing. In my head right now, it's just, I hope that I'm able to give the people everything that I could to perform at my best. I will practice so much. I will work very hard to make sure that I don't disappoint. How does one pronounce your first and last name? Keath Osk. But I don't mind any pronunciations, really. Do you know what the time for the shows will be? We try to make it as early as we could, since, as I said, Wonderfolk are quite young. A lot of them are. And we wanted to have them get home early, so ideally it will be around 7, so around like 6 to 7, and then by, I don't know, 9 or 10 perhaps, we could all go home and sleep comfortably, and if people have school the next day, they don't have a problem. Will pictures and videos be allowed on tour? Does it depend on the venue? It would be really nice to take pictures and videos. That's fine, as long as you're enjoying the experience. Because I know that a lot more people are not going to be able to go, and it would be good to have them feel included if we got footage out eventually, so they could also watch at home. Can you show me the ring? It's nothing special. It has a green stone though. What am my face doing? Because green is Ren's favourite colour. Right before I cried last night after the poster, and before I got in live, I had an emotional thing going on about achievements and such, and I'm gambling again just reading this question. I have too many questions right now. Also, how do you feel personally knowing so many people look up to you? Personally, you're the reason I knew I was trans. Oh, really? That's so sweet. That's so precious. I doubt that I was the reason though. I think you would have known it at least somewhat before you'd met me. You just needed a reassurance, I suppose. I'm glad that you had that realization, and I hope the exploration and the experience will be easy for you. People looking up to me is very scary. I do not want to be anything close to a bad experience or to a bad influence. What does that sound? I'm trying my hardest to be someone good, someone that can inspire, and just to bring I don't know what I'm going to say. Just to bring something good to the table. I want to be able to push the younger audience into picking up an instrument, no matter what it is, to picking up a pen. If they wanted to write, then they could write. If they wanted to draw, they could draw. As long as they're using that skill and talent for something good, then I want to be the one to push that for them to do it. One of my favourite things starting Yaelokre is seeing people express themselves more. When they share footage of them learning how to strum for the first time, searching up guitar tabs, searching up chords, asking the community, how do you play this song? What instrument is this? I want to have some. I want to have one myself. I want to learn this myself. And I am so proud of everybody. This was especially during the time I posted the calls response prompt, where you have to draw your character with a blue pinky and make a promise. People were like, but my art isn't good enough. Or I can't draw, I can only write. And then people under the comment sections were like, that's okay. You can write if you want to write. That's still a form of art. Or if they are not confident with their drawings, people would encourage them to be like, that's okay. If you want to draw, then just draw. And I know how hard it is to draw hands. I've gone through that myself as an artist, and I did not want this prompt to stop the audience from actually trying and participating, because I know they really want to. So I tried my best to get back to them and be like, you could just use a reference. Heck, I would encourage you to trace a reference. Your own hand, take a picture of your own hand and trace it. It's yours. And it's a way of learning. Eventually, once you keep doing that, you won't have to trace anymore. You won't have to take a picture of your hand because you know how to do it yourself. It's a learning thing. I like to draw hands. Someone said that no one likes to draw. I like to draw. It's really hard. It's not the easiest part of the body, but I feel like drawing hands it shows so much personality, and not just intimacy, but just how a person expresses themselves. It's drawing and bodies and poses and expressions and emotions. I could get into that conversation really deeply, but I don't think this is the right time. Yes, drawing hands can be fun, as drawing in general can be fun and hard at the same time. It can coexist. Thank you for the question, by the way. This was really sweet for you to be like, to bring up the looking up to you topic. Will you be playing every song so far, or only a few? I hope to. My goal for a tour, just live performance in general, is to be able to immerse the people into a story, and that means that I have to tell a whole narrative that would make sense, and I wouldn't want to cut it into something that wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't punish myself for that. I really hope to practice and be able to perform everything, if not more. I saw a TikTok earlier that was like, Keath, please play the song with Cooper and the Playwright on tour, and I'm like, yeah, it is kind of impossible for me not to. Hello, Lewis! And probably other more songs. Maybe I'll do some covers, but so far I've got too many songs in my notes and in my journal and in my documents that haven't been released that I just really love to sing, and I think it would be nice to just have them there. Sorry. I'm congested a little bit. My English is not the best at the moment. Scrolling through the questions again. This is really funny. I've been Cooper and the Playwright Polly. Well, yeah. Next question. Oh, it's so funny. Because we just like talking about them a lot. And it's not like there's no big thing going on. They just really like each other. Sometimes you just gotta kiss the mailman. Who is that? It's a drawing. I want to show Doodle because I think it's funny. They got me talking about them now. Hold on. Oh, it says, honey, I really want to kiss the mailman. And then Cooper says, well, that's another thing we have in common. So, yeah. Thanks. Don't make a big deal out of it. They're just there. This isn't about them. This isn't about them. This isn't about them. Everyone. Hey, a married couple's gotta have hobbies. And they will all make really good parents. They just don't know it yet. Oh. This is something really simple, but I want to answer it. I don't want my laptop to be open like this. Not a concert question, but what's your favourite animal? I plan on drawing you with it and bring it to the... I don't have a favourite animal. I think it's just a group. I have a lot of favourites. Lately, I've been into dogs. Because I just think that I'm a dog. I'm a sort of dog. Cooper is a dog. I really like dogs so far. But I really like birds as well. I've got that ongoing theme of birds. Let me talk about that actually. But wait, let me answer the question properly. So we've got dogs, birds, goats, rabbits, the moose, cows. I really like lizards, like the dragon ones. What else? I kind of do like the quokkas as well. Hamsters, mice, rats, cats. a lot. Yeah, I don't I don't have a favourite really. Anyway, I thank you for the question. I want to get into the bird, to the having the ongoing theme of the bird, because of course we have the Meadowlark. And then we've got my collective, which is Sigaw ng Quago, and Quago in English is owl. My partner's name is Wren, and Wren is a bird. My grandparents gave me a nickname, Tritla, because whenever I'm at the house, I would like to prance around like a bird that is on the ground, is not using their wings to just hop about. What else? Peregrine is a bird. It just goes on. Someone says if they can see Sarah. Oh, I don't have Sarah anymore. Not anymore. I have it in the future, but she's with my parents in Norway. She's living a really good life. Because I'm so busy nowadays that I can't have the time to take care of her myself, unfortunately. And I just want her to have a healthy and happy life that she gets a lot of attention and love. What? When and how did you get into music or singing? Was it scary at first to start? Music and singing has been with me since I was really, 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 really small. I have videos of when I was 1 to 2 years old that I will just sing with my dolls, and I make them do backflips. A reason for that is because my mom is a singer, and she would compete in singing contests. She taught me how to sing. And my first performance was when I was 3 years old. I was very small, and I remember being in this yellow gold gown, and it was really hot. I was carrying around a big microphone, and I sang English, Keath. And I sang A Whole New World. I've told this the past live, but it would be nice to say it again. I think it's a really fun memory. I don't remember much. I don't even know if it's a contest or it was just like a special thing, like, oh, let this kid sing. Anyway, I've had singing throughout my life, all throughout my life. It's always scary. It's fun to start because it's a hobby and it's something fun and an outlet you can use to express yourself and your skill. But the scary part for me was doing it in front of people with the expectation that, oh, this is going to be good. And stages have always been frightening. And I never got rid of my stage fright. But we're here now, in front of many and many people. We're doing good. Hopefully it doesn't go awry. Really need to fix my English right now. I don't know why. Blah 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 blah. Keath, I noticed your band's got a little what got even more adorable. It suits you. Did you cut it a little? I didn't. It was just fixed. Still the same length. But it's just bouncy right now. Thank you. How much will the tickets cost? Again, the tickets are going to be affordable as I and my team can make it. We wanted it to be accessible, but it would depend on the venue. Tomorrow we will find out more about it. According to the questions, the chat is really fast. I'm so sorry if I cannot catch up to everybody. Will there be another tour some other time in other places? I hope so. It's not a promise, but that's the ideal. We really want to expand and to just see where it goes. I do want to perform for more people and be able to reach more wonderfolk in the future. That's part of the dream. I think it would be really nice. So yeah. Next year, most probably, there will be another tour. Right now, it being my first one, I hope to just gain experience and to practice myself, to get used to this kind of, whatchamacallit, this kind of pattern. I really hope I'm not stumbling in my words too much. I just stumbled there. Ignore me. I want to answer this because I love my friends so much. Okay, so since you're making me cry, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to say it. Did you ever think that you couldn't possibly get as far as you did? What helped you encourage yourself to go further? No, I didn't think that I would get any of it, really. Fame was something that was unnecessary and I never really dreamed of. I would like to think that I'm a practical person, despite my ideologies, when it comes to the emotion and the human heart, being full of kindness and, well, wonder to be able to dream big. But when it comes to career, job, or anything in relation to art being practical, it's not always the best situation. I've always been told or have been aware that if you pursue something art related, maybe music, drawing, or anything under that, it'll be a lot more difficult for you, knowing how the world works and how you get to properly earn money and stuff, and all that technical thing. Before 2024, my plan was to continue school and finish college. But before I could get into college, I wanted to do something special and big that I've only done for the first time, and it was to make music proper. And it was because my friend JD from Medio maybe was like, I can help you with your songs. We can produce it. We can put some drums in it. I can do the bass. When after high school, music has just been a very stagnant and passive thing in my life, and I've just been focused on drawing and art. That was more practical to me. I could earn money from that. I would join communities and get into interests, and people would commission me and I'd draw for them, and it was nice. It was my way to make money so I could help my cat Sarah go to Norway to live a better life, and now she's there out of everything, and it wasn't all just from drawing, it was from the music. So thank you. Now it's a dream, and then I continue on at college, graduate, and then become a teacher, ideally a kindergarten teacher, and write my own book, write my own storybooks, make children's books, children's illustrations, something for the kids, read to the kids. I didn't think that I would be reading and telling a story in front of so many other people, not just children. And the audience are very, very eager to listen, which is still so bizarre. I did not think that I would get to this point. And a lot of people know about what happened last year. It was very unexpected and a huge explosion. The gruesome parts of it were very unnecessary, but it was an experience that I grew from. Thankfully, I've somehow gotten something good from that, and that is the realization that no matter how overwhelming things can get, the people who love you are still going to be there. Popularity or no popularity, numbers or no numbers, song or no song. And my friends have always been there to make me realize why I was doing this in the first place. And that is to express myself, to achieve my dream. And what was my dream? My dream was to just sit in a library in front of children, read them a story. They listen or not, some of them play, some of them are very engrossed and immersed. But at the end of the day, I would feel fulfilled. Because that was my dream. And it's something that encouraged me a lot to go forward with it. I even considered quitting that, because a lot of this, everything I did not ask for. I just wanted to live a peaceful life. But then I realized that I could just use all these eyes and ears that I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for people to look at me, to perceive me as something as big as this. But I realized that I could use that for good. And I could use that to spread the lessons that I've learned myself, the principles that I've had all throughout my life, and be able to influence not just children, but the people surrounding those children, and able to help them understand that the world isn't as boxed and limited and just so than what people perceive it as, I think. In summary, it was a way for me to do good. And I think the tour would be that dream expanded into something so much more, having the same foundation of telling a story, but it's more than just a library now. There's a lot of on multiple stages, multiple cities, and not only in the same audience. To end that answer, I'm so sorry it was so long. I'm just really passionate about this. One of my very favourite things about this job and this project is that I know that a lot of the Wonderfolk are young, but it's when the parents are actively listening to what the children are interested in. It's when they show up under my comments, my emails, under my videos, my live streams, and they go, hey, my daughter, my son, my child really likes your music, and I was interested in something blah 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 blah. How do we do blah 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 blah? And it's when they're actively seeking more information to help their kid. I want to be this to the children. It's a very big claim, and I know that I'm only doing so much, but I want to be able to be something the parents would look at and be like, yeah, my kid is being influenced by a good person. That my kid will be alright because they're looking up to this person who wants to do good. And that's all I really want. When I grew up, I was surrounded by media that wasn't very friendly to kids. And it was either very shallow or straight up very harmful to the kids' mind. It's not great. I want to be able to change that somehow and make it fun for everybody, not just kids. Sorry that was long. I'm going to move on. can you go through the Meadowlark lore? I would love to. I actually planned to do that today. I was going through my documents. I wanted to summarize it a little bit, just for the sake of, since we're going on tour, and eventually I'm going to be going through that per show, but not out of 4, of course, because we don't have enough time. It's a very, very intricate and big story thing, but I'll try to do it. So think of, alright, everyone knows that Meadowlark is a bird, right? It's some type of small bird. If you don't know what a Meadowlark looks like, you could go to Google and look at pictures of a Meadowlark. Alright, is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Oh, this is so sweet. Everyone is so interested. I'm so thankful. Thank you. I love story time. Okay. This isn't going to be the whole thing. This is just a summary. A summary of a summary, I suppose. It'll be shared in detail in the future once everything is laid out and everything is clean and everything is polished. Eventually, everyone will learn what everything and how everything works, okay? Right now, it's just scanning through it. Alright, everyone ready? I'm gonna start. The Meadowlark is a bird. It is small, and small can mean insignificant. For a story to be told, may it be myth or true, one must become a witness. And beyond our calcified houses, there are countless. For you to be a witness, there is no requirement, really. You don't have to be human to be a witness. You don't have to have vision. You don't have to hear. As long as you get to experience it in any way, shape or form, you are a witness. But of course, everyone experiences life and events, portrays stories and all different kinds of narratives differently. So there are multiple, various, different perspectives everywhere, may it be just one story. You don't have to be human. You can be a dog running around the street, seeing something happening. And in that same street, maybe there is a cat minding its own business, or at least trying to. But it gets to experience something the dog is also experiencing. And maybe there are rats in that street. And the rats are also in that scenario, doing their own little thing as well. Maybe we're not in the street. Maybe we're not even in a town. Maybe we're out in the wilderness. Maybe we are in a forest, in a savanna, in a desert, somewhere far away, under the sea, over the sea, in the sky. There are a lot of witnesses out there. And one of the most common ones are birds, since they flock to where they are needed. They fly over many, many places. A bird can be seen in the wild. A bird can be seen outside your window. A bird can be seen where people are. A bird can be seen where fishes swim. And something as small and insignificant as a little bird, a little meadowlark, could have so much going on inside its head. This little bird flew over the land and witnessed the grass dance. It witnessed the trees sway to the nature's music, like the whistling that would come from the branches, through their branches. The song of the crickets, from the other birds chirping. We would see branches fall. They would see rabbits run, either from a predator or go back to its home, to its kids. It would witness the change of weather from a very hot desert, and then comes the rain, and after the rain it becomes green again. And if there is green, there is grass. There are animals that eat grass, like the hartebeest. And many more. There's so many stories. So many stories. So many hearts, so many eyes, ears, witnesses. And it was all in the little bird's head. In summary, this little bird developed wonder. This little bird gained imagination, gained a belief, experienced a story on its own. It was something they could tell. It was something they lived through. And this is a metaphor to every single person out there, that you are living a life full of stories. Maybe you are living someone else's story, just in a different perspective. You are wonder. And the meadowlark represents me. I am insignificant. I am just a small little bird in a huge world full of stories I haven't even witnessed myself. And yet, in my own little head, there is wonder from all the personal experiences I've gone through. And it was as if I could finally put words into a blank book. I suppose everyone is their own little meadowlark. You don't have to be a meadowlark. You don't even have to be a bird. If you think that you're maybe a little rat, just a little rat going through the city, you could be your own little meadowlark. You could be your own little story. You could spark your own narrative. And that would be your Yaelokre. That would be your project. That is you. Meadowlark is me. Anyway, I hope I'm making sense. I'm so sorry. It's way clearer in my head. Anyway, let's get back to it. The Meadowlark, having developed wonder, sung and with its singing, it awoken the mother trees. If you're familiar with the mother trees, they're called the four cradles. A lot of people, a lot of wonder folk have mentioned this before, and some of you may be confused as to who they are, but they are very significant in the story. And they're kind of like, well, a mother has been there. Mothers, not literally, but a lot of things came from them. So, the Meadowlark sung, told its story, and with that, they've woken up the mother trees. They've woken up the four cradles. The four cradles are what they're called in the narrative, and what the stories that people have written about them all throughout history. And they can feel and hear and be all of what their roots could reach. Everything. It's as if they birthed life itself. Kind of like Mother Nature, to put it simply, but I do want it to be as simple as that. As long as you stand above their ground, or breathe the air that they give, or eat the fruit that they offer, everything, as long as you're connected, they know you. The four cradles are can be seen as many different things. Some people believe that they are gods, but that could be true, that could not be true. It's whatever the person or a community believes in. And it reflects kind of what we have in real life, right? Like, some people believe in gods, some people don't. Some people have religion. Some people in this world treat the four cradles as a religion, some don't. Some people don't even know if they exist or not. Some people believe that they're just fairy tales, that they're not real. They are mentioned a lot and they are acknowledged, but sometimes they are just seen as characters or figures from a storybook. But they are real. It's just not widely accepted or known or comprehended that they are. When they heard the Meadowlark sing, they thanked the Meadowlark and was very grateful that the Meadowlark woke them up from their sleep, from their forever slumber. And because they were so grateful, they promised the Meadowlark that they will foster this magic, this life, this breath that they were given, and that is wonder. They promised to take care of wonder, to make sure that it flows and it continues on, because if it doesn't, they would have to go back to sleep and everything else would disappear. if you hadn't gotten that already, I'm so sorry if I'm talking so much. If you hadn't gotten that already, the 4 cradles were a foundation to my imagination, and that is the start of the story. Like, if I didn't foster my own wonderment, we wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't be hearing me tell a story. You wouldn't be hearing my songs. I wouldn't have written my songs in the first place if I didn't foster and daughter my own wonder. As they've gotten bigger, as they spread even further into the world of Eld. Eld is what I call this world, by the way. It's like when we call our world Earth. This is Eld. It's gotten hard for them since they do not have a voice. They're not people. The mother trees, the 4 cradles are not people. They are living entities that don't have a singular body. They could either work as 4 different things or as one. So in order to connect with more people, or people in general, humans, or just anyone with a heart or willing to listen, they birthed their own prophets. They birthed and made these figures called the Harkers. The Harkers are also not people. They are made from straw, the straw man, the scarecrow, the storyteller, the bell ringer. Okay, let me clean this out to make sure it's clear. I'm so sorry. The storyteller is made up of hay, straw, dried grass, sticks, flowers, just anything that you'd make for a scarecrow, for your crops. Not a trickle of flesh, nothing human at all. So that is a storyteller. I made that so was because, well, dried grass, and well, that is the past. If you see yellow grass or just flaxen in like a dry summer day, it's like, oh, it's dying. And it's not really dying, it's already dead, but it's the past. It's not the fresh new green anymore, because it's the past. Anyway, so the storyteller is a scarecrow. The bell ringer is a puppet made of wood and metal, and it's an invention. The bell ringer is an invention. It's a human-made invention. The bell ringer is like a doll, but yes, a puppet. The enkindled is merely a mask. It's just a mask. It doesn't have a body. It's just a mask made of bark. And the croon is made of animal bones. When the animals die, they pass away in the middle of a forest or the wilderness. and then they rot, they decay, they leave their bones. That is what the croon is made out of. So none of them are alive. None of the Harkers are alive. None of them are human. None of them can have human emotions or experience anything humane. None of them are capable of forming their own opinion. None of them are what you expect them to be, really. They were made for a singular purpose, and that is to spread and deliver wonder. The mother trees, instead of going themselves to try and connect with whatever it is that they had to do to spread wonder, they split it into 4 different assignments and principles. These principles are what I have growing up. The Harkers are a depiction of my morals and principles all throughout my life. And in order to tackle them properly and clearly and effectively, they've been split into 4. So we've got the past, the future, equilibrium, and entropy. The same with the 4 cradles. The Harkers are also kind of the same with the way people portray them. It goes really well, actually, because the people in Eld are like, the Harkers are not real. The Harkers aren't telling the truth. The Harkers are really good. The Harkers are really good. The Harkers are really bad. Did you know that the Harkers are bad? The Harkers are welcomed. The Harkers are not welcomed. The Harkers, they're kind of cool. Yeah, I don't really care about the Harkers, but I know you're passionate about them, so good for you. Yeah, I'm really passionate about them. I'm learning a lot about them. Yeah. To each of their own. Some of the books written about them can be so different from the truth. Some are really accurate, but even people that are living within Eld are like, is this really accurate? Or do they know that this is true? Or do they like critical thinking? It's a lot. It's how the world works. Even from Wonderfolk, even from my audience, people don't know anything of what's true or what's not. Sometimes I just scroll through social media and be like, this person doesn't know that what they're saying is accurate. And then another one is like, this person doesn't know that that is so far from accurate. But I'll just let it be, because that's just how the world works. And it's really fun. It's like a game of telephone again, of like history, of like what really happened back in the day. But it doesn't matter. As long as you've received the lesson, as long as the lesson has gone through, then that is the main purpose. That is the goal. The Harkers and the 4 cradles do not care, do not give a singular shit if the people believe if they are true or not, if they're telling the truth or not, as long as they are able to comprehend the lesson that was given. The lesson is the most important. To mind the future, to be wary No, to mind the past, to be wary of the future, to accept balance and equilibrium within your life, and to treat chaos as not only a bad thing, but to accept that entropy is natural. You cannot blame a storm for being a storm. You cannot stop a tempest. You cannot control everything in your life. And most of the time you just have to accept it. Like, of course, there is balance and equilibrium, and that is normal. But if you have everything in your life balanced, everything in order, everything in line, that's not life anymore. I don't like it when people be like, chaos is bad. Chaos is not bad. Chaos is natural. It is only bad if it is done with the intention of doing bad. But nature. Yes, so in summary of the Harkers, it doesn't matter what people think about them, if people think they're real, as long as the lesson has gone through, as long as people listen, as long as people remember the past so that they could be wary of the future, there being naturally the balance in your life, and of course comprehending chaos and entropy, being a part of it also. Now, on to the next. With the 4 cradles making the Harkers are tasked to seek towns, noisy motorcycle. They are tasked to seek towns, holds, kingdoms, places, hamlets, and just people in general, and to sing and perform for them, to warn them, well, of course, the storyteller's going to be like, hey, do you remember what happened during that time? I think you should remember that, because it's going to affect your future. I don't know, just be wary, you know. I don't know, remember the past. And then the bell ringer comes in and be like, hey, the future is really up to you. I'm not here to give you answers. I'm just here to like tell you to mind and be like, I'm an augur. What happens tomorrow is entirely up to you, but here's something, I guess. Listen to me. Yeah. And then the enkindled, of course, go like, hey, this is something you need to do. It brings some balance in your life, blah 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 blah. And then the croon is like, doesn't speak. I'm just joking around. Of course, the Harkers work in various ways. They don't all work the same. Their visits are unique and memorable, that people would make traditions out of it, and people would make seasons or like holidays or record it. And it's been like that for many, many years. many, many years, that's just how life worked. Everything was wonderful, and people were wondrous. The Wonder Folk. They've been keeping it up with the storyteller's gonna visit. They'll listen. They'll take the advice, and their town will prosper. The same with the rest of the Harkers. And that's just it. As long as you listen, as long as you understand, as long as the lesson gets through to you, then all will be good. Because you are accepting these morals and these principles into your life. But what happens if you don't listen? What happens if you just ignore them, let alone combat them? What happens if you just do the entire opposite? This is where the Majesty comes in. I won't get too into detail with the Majesty, because this is where the storyline really starts. But to all the people who are familiar with the Majesty, he didn't listen. He was an example, a huge example of that. Of the what if someone didn't listen, someone just ignored the morals. So that happens. I won't get into detail. That'll be in the future. But now you know the foundation and kind of like the tree thing, the family tree thing with the Meadowlark, the 4 cradles, the Harkers, and then the events of the Majesty. Due to the Majesty's actions, the foundation kind of erupted, fell. Since you need the Harkers, since you need these principles, all of that washed, then everything, or at least the world that the Majesty knew, fell. And that was the start of the era of consequence. The era of consequence is where everything is not as yellow and bright and sunny and sunshine and flowers and springtime, cute little rabbits, cute little birds, gardens, luscious forests, music, la 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 la. The era of consequence is where everything goes downhill. Wonder is now scarce. It hurts. The year of consequence is when wonder goes like, and then doubt. The opposite of wonder is doubt. And doubt rose up, wonder went down. And it wasn't good for the people. Anyway, the year of consequence is also where a lot of the current events are in. So Felicity. So someone don't know, Felicity is the city where our protagonists and characters live in. It is I really want to talk about more in detail of what it is, but that deserves its own time, because I'm really going to get into it. Felicity is our main setting in the story. That is where everyone is at the moment. So that's where the Lark lives. That's where the playwright, Cooper, Finn, Centellia, Pietro, and all of these characters that you might not even know live in. Okay, going back before I've moved forward. So Meadowlark, the 4 cradles, the Harkers, the Majesty, the Year of Consequence, Felicity, the Lark. The playwright was what I figured to be a character that could hold such a significance in the narrative. They are one of my newest characters that I've written, that I've decided to keep as a reflection of my experience as of the last year. And it just made so much sense that I could explore bleaker topics that when I was a kid couldn't comprehend. And that is just doubt and the reality of things. The reality of things. And in comparison to how I've been presenting the children are very colourful, upbeat, very hopeful, full of wonder. The playwright and the rest of Felicity is so bland, not bland, but no colour at all. Even from the recent drawings, if you've noticed. I really want to get into the story, but that's another long talk, and I've talked about Meadowlark far too much. But yes, with the... I can't say this. I'll just leave it at that. We will, I can't really say that. But I've given you a lot, I think. I just want things to be presented with much justification and grandeur. They deserve to have that. But I've given you a lot. So, Meadowlark, the 4 cradles, the Harkers, the Majesty, the Year of Consequence, Felicity, the Lark, and the rest of the cast. Do you now understand why I cannot just tell the lore and the whole story in one sitting? Do you not understand why I've been keeping so much? Because there's just so much. You can't just walk up to me and be like, so what's the story of Meadowlark? And I'm gonna go, because there's so much perspective in it. Do you want to know about the in-world? Do you want to know the metaphors? Do you want to know how it connects to me as a person? Do you want to know that this is literally just me? So listening to my music, getting into Meadowlark as a story is practically getting to know me as a person. You're learning about my morals, my principles, the way I see the world, how I love, how I treat my friendships, my relationships. It's just me. So it's already a big flattering thing that you're interested in the story. Anyway, I'm going crazy. I've talked mostly about whatever. It's good preparation for the tour. So at least you've got that thing in your little pocket and you're like, what, Keath, doesn't make sense. You like looking at the stage. And then people are like, what is this guy talking about? Where's Harpy Hair? Why is this guy not singing Harpy Hair? And I'm going to be like, townlets adorned with memories unvarnished or forged, and talk my butt off. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate everybody staying to learn. It means a lot to me. Not a lot of people are patient enough to do this whole thing and comprehend it. Thank you. You've learned a lot more about me as a person. It's something. The story is a growing thing. So it's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle, and then each song is like a puzzle piece, and I'm just, for every release, it'll make sense. So don't feel worried. I don't want any of you to feel worried, and I want you to tell this to other Wonderfolk who cannot attend my live streams. I don't want any of you to feel worried that you're missing out on my Twitter spaces, live streams, my replies, my Instagram stories, because if it's something very significant, then I'd make the effort to share it the way I want it to be presented to the public. So if it's very important lore, expect it to be an important thing. It like a whole song, a whole album, or an EP, or something big that is dedicated, that I want to like, this is what happened. So don't feel worried. Most of what I'm sharing right now are just me having fun and having this all get stuck in my head, and ow, that's the chair. Yeah, be patient, I guess. That's all. You don't panic if you don't know anything. The time will come, and I'm so flattered, just overall grateful that so many of you are willing to wait for something as important as this to me. Does that sentence make a lot of sense? The chat has gone again. I think pretty much there's a limit to this, because this has happened the last time as well, but that's alright. We can look at the questions here. will we be allowed to sing along during the show? Yes! Please. Please sing along. I know some artists and musicians do not like it when people sing along with their songs. But I come from a collective who's very supportive and very energetic and very much willing to show appreciation by letting that musician know that they know the song, that they're able to have fun with the music. It would be so wonderful if people would just treat it as a big party, I suppose. It's kind of like when a Harker would come around and people would surround the Harkers and be like, music, 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 and it's a fun little thing. Not little anymore when time comes. But I really appreciate people who would sing along and answer with me. And I want it to be interactive in a sense. I cannot speak or sit down with each and every one of you myself, unfortunately. But through my performance, I don't want to be seen as just like a shiny object placed in a pedestal and people are just watching. I want it to be an interactive thing, you know? I want it to be a fun experience that it's, you know, that this is a community you can be yourself in. You can bond over the music. You can do the clapping game. You can make a circle. You can dance around. This is really important. I will be touring. If some of you don't know, I will be touring alone. So it's a solo thing. I won't have my band with me. I won't have my friends. I won't have JD, Emil, Eugene, Jong with me. And that makes me really sad. But they've got their own thing going on. They've got their own projects and music and wonderful things happening in their lives. Unfortunately, and well, to note that this is my first tour, I can't have that privilege just yet, but in the future, hopefully. That's a dream. That is a dream. Oh my goodness. So I will be alone, and since my friends won't be there, maybe you bunch can be maybe you can help me out. And make this experience less scary as it is. If I know that you're having fun, even if I'm maybe not giving it my best, maybe I'm not doing good, I don't know, maybe my voice isn't the best there, or if I miss a note, or if I miss a chord, if I say something wrong. I don't want to get up on stage and be like, all the time I want to impress you, and if I don't impress you, I'm gone. Although that is, well, the means of being a performer. There is comfort in knowing that I'm singing along with you, as you are with me. because not only are you lot having fun, I get to have fun too. Thank you. Just to answer some of the frequent common questions, I'm so sorry for talking too much, not about the tour. Well, this is more of like preparation for stories on the tour. For the age limit, most of the venues are going to be for all ages, but be mindful of it depends on each place. So some are all ages, well, most are all ages, but some may require for you to have a guardian with you, and I do recommend having someone with you to rely on and just to be safe. I don't want anything bad happening and no one to watch over you, especially if you're young and you're traveling, especially in a group setting. We don't know what's going to happen, so it is advised, if you are young, to have a parent or a guardian or just someone with you. For the prices, we tried our very best to make it as affordable as possible, and so everyone can feel included and be able to attend. Let me get what my manager said. I don't want to be wrong. So for the US, it's going to be around $20 to $30. For the UK and Europe, it's going to be around 15 pounds to 20 to 25 euros. I wanted to note this as well, because he said this: anything higher is scalper and resale. So anything too expensive, that's not true. We wouldn't do that. Let's be careful. I know, because even during the Aurora concert, I've been seeing a lot of scalpers, and it was not great. They were selling it a lot more than they should. It's not good. When it comes to attire, I encourage everybody to dress the way they want to dress. I was gonna bark. Be confident within yourself. I think the wonderful community is just full of people who want to express themselves in many different ways, and that includes fashion, and that includes me. And we could all look really cool and cute together. Yes. You can bring your masks. You could cosplay if you want. You don't even have to cosplay a Meadowlark character. You could just show up as any. Treat it as like a convention. It would be really cool to have different characters in there. It's not just Meadowlark. It's kind of like when Bin was delivering the invitations to people, and it's just random strangers. Imagine Hatsune Miku in one of my shows. Someone can dress up as Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton. Yeah. I want it to be a special thing. where people can go, yeah, who are those people? And then the person is like, that's Keith's audience. Yaelokre? Yeah. Oh. Makes sense. What else? Watch out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be very important because we've received the results for the pre-sale already, and there are a lot of you. There are a lot of you. And fast. Wonderfolk are fast. Since there's so much people in the pre-sale, it is not guaranteed at all that everyone will get a spot. But it'll be a little tricky for tomorrow for you lot, but hopefully it'll all go well for everybody. For most of you anyway. I'm so sorry. But no worries. If you do not get a chance to get a ticket, there will be another opportunity on Friday. So do watch out for that as well. For the people who missed out, maybe you could attend these shows. And well, this is just my very first tour. There's so many more that I wish to do and I wish to visit. Places that I wish to sing to, and people that I hope to reach. This isn't going to be my last tour. In the future, there will be more. Hopefully, next year, we could do something. It would be really nice. Even better if I could have my band with me, but if things go really, really well, we could have that. I really appreciate the lot of you being like, I'm so disappointed because my city isn't in here, but I'm really happy for the people that I get to see you, or that I'm really happy that there's even a tour happening. I think that's really sweet and so thoughtful and considerate, and I really, really appreciate it because this is already such a huge thing for me. Going to London is such a huge thing as well. That alone, having people listen to my music beyond my own country is a bizarre experience. It's crazy to me that people are genuinely anticipating my arrival, and it's hard to comprehend. Thank you. I will forever be grateful for everybody, not just the people here on the stream, but everyone else who are willing to take a second to give acknowledgement. I will be ending this live once 12 hits. It is currently 11:46. Would you ever turn the law into books? I'd love to read them. Thank you, thank you. I hope to. That is one of my. That is literally what I wanted to do before anything music. Was make books. I want to make books. In the future. It's going to be a lot of personal time and not being bothered and just on my desk, alone, writing. But it's going to be a long time now. When I have more time, most definitely, I want to. I really want to. I could already imagine the book covers that I want to do, and I'm probably going to improve so much on my artworks to do the book covers. It'd be a lot of fun. I really like your questions. You're not a stupid bunny. But it would be good to keep consistent with how the stream is going right now, with the kind of questions and answers I've been giving a lot. I'm sorry for the emotional questions, but my real question is, how did you truly figure out your identity? Is there any tips for figuring out who you are? Well, when I was younger and finally getting to let go of my mom's hand, explore the world, meet new people, I was met with the expectation of being categorized. Everyone was walking around with boxes. Everyone was tagged. Everyone was everyone limited themselves. And this was not out of material privilege or the physical. It was their understanding. But I understood it as a way to seek comfort within a world that is so big and daunting that a small box is easier to handle than being forced to comprehend all of that all at once. But then later on I realized that people don't realize that we're all living in a huge box. So what's the point? You're going to limit yourself and you're already put into a world that's limiting itself. It's I will say it over and over again. I fully understand why people do this, and that is because it brings them comfort and it brings them reassurance, because it's easier than diving and delving into something as intricate as whatever I'm going through right now. Motorcycle. When I was a kid, of course, naturally, people would go like, you're this, and you're only this. So when you go beyond that only, when you go beyond that fence, you're unsafe. And people would use that argument of safetiness to shove you in a box and to be less than who you are meant to be. But it's not always the case. Because as life is natural, so are you. Every relationship is nuanced. Identities are not set in stone. People change. And everyone is so different. Even animals have their own personalities, have their own identities, have their own mannerisms, practices. Yes, you could understand them as a whole species of what they do this and how they do this. They are known to do this, but so are humans. But each and every single one of us have our own perspective and our own view of the world. Like, you could be standing on top of a building with another person just right beside you, but even if it's just a small distance away, they're literally just right beside you. Maybe they can't see that there is a bird over there, because from where they're standing, there is a fence, there is a post in front of the bird. So you're like, oh, have you seen that bird? And they're like, where? It's right there. Where? But if you just were patient and give grace and put yourself in their shoes, you're going to understand that, oh, you can't see it because there's a post covering it. And then the person is like, oh, okay, I'll scoot over here. I see it now. Thanks. No problem. And then they kiss. Anyway, I'm going so far beyond. I'm getting too philosophical about this. But I've struggled as a young child being told that you are this and you are this and you are that. And when I finally accepted that I could just let it be because it doesn't matter, that was when I found that, oh, wow, this is literally freeing. This is so much easier, just letting it be. You don't need to pressure yourself into giving yourself a name. You can go by any names, really. Not just names in terms of label, but like, if I'm Keith, what if tomorrow I wanted to be Christopher? That's not going to change who I am. That's not going to change my morals, the way I see life. It's just a name. Like, sure, people are going to be like, who's Christopher? Oh, now it's Keith. They go by Christopher today. Once they recognize the person, they're going to be like, oh yeah, okay. What, suddenly if I was Christopher, I'm already evil? I'm kidding. But yeah, that's just how I view things. I truly figured out my identity when I started letting things be. I started living in a moment, loving how I wanted to love, seeing things as they are, and not having to pressure myself into viewing it in a specific way. minding that there are multiple perspectives. But in spite of that, of course, you have to stay true and honest to yourself, to your morals. So if you, and please, hopefully, you want to do good, please tell me you want to do good. Despite understanding of how things have happened, how people view things differently, you stay true to what you believe in. You're just going to lose yourself and your progress in figuring your identity out if you pander to what someone else or a whole society thinks. Just as long as you're good, just as long as you're honest, then you could just let it go. You could just let things be. You could just allow yourself to experience life. If you don't feel like a girl today, then maybe you're not a girl today. And if you find yourself not feeling like a girl tomorrow, then you're not a girl tomorrow. It's as simple as that. You don't have to go like, oh, but what will they think? Doesn't really matter what other people think. I get that it's going to be very important if it's your family, your friends, people you look up to. What will they think? But at the end of the day, you're carrying your own person. You're living your own life. As long as you're honest within yourself, even if what you speak is a lie, as long as you know within yourself that I am this and I am happy to be this, you're not hurting anyone. You're being honest within yourself. You're loving yourself. And there's no malice in that. Then you're good. You're all set. I hope I am making sense. You've noticed that my speaking has gotten a lot better the more I spoke all throughout the stream. When I started it, I was still stuttering a lot. But yes, that will be the final question for today. Sorry, it's gotten a little intricate. I know that little minds are sometimes having a hard time comprehending the way I and most people speak or whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll catch up. You'll catch on. If you cannot understand it now, we are in no rush to learn. Everyone is learning every day. Even if it takes time, as long as you're trying, that is very well good enough. And I am proud of you for even trying. Thank you. I'm going to be ending the live now since it is midnight. Thank you so much for listening to me. I am a big rambler. I love you lots. Bye-bye. Watch out tomorrow. Very important tomorrow. General sale. Bye-bye.